Welcome to the Life Lab, the place where we experiment with new ways of living to be more successful in life and work. And this is another one in our series about energy. So today we're going to talk about something that's becoming normal for many of us, and that's always being on. We live in a world where work never really stops. We've got phones in our pockets, notifications pinging all the time, messages that might feel urgent even when they're not. And I think I've fallen into that trap too several times. I always think, I'll just check this quickly. And before I know it, I'm still working hours later and I go to bed with work just going around my mind, making it difficult to sleep. And it feels productive at the time, but the cost shows up later. So when I don't sleep, I have poor energy, I have poor focus and a poor mood. When we're always on, we don't give ourselves time to recover. We keep spending energy without topping it up. And that matters because we don't have an endless supply of energy. We've got to protect it, because if we don't, we end up tired and distracted and less effective, even when we think that we're just working hard. So I've had to learn to set some boundaries, and for me that means turning off notifications. It means leaving my phone in a different room and being clear about when I'm available and when I'm not. And it's not easy, because saying no can often feel very uncomfortable, but boundaries aren't about shutting people out. They're about making sure we're effective when we need to be. And I started trying to notice the moments when I feel pulled into work. So sometimes it might be habit, sometimes it's maybe pressure, sometimes even a bit of FOMO. And I'm trying to write that down without judgment and see the patterns in terms of what are the times of day when I'm distracted, what's triggering me. It's really interesting data, actually. And then I've tried to create space, so no phones in the bedroom, no devices in the lounge. Even just having a rule that I don't respond to emails after a certain time is helpful, because these small acts can make a big difference, and they help me reclaim energy and focus so that I'm not risking running on empty, essentially. So your Life Lab experiment for the week is to track when you feel the urge to follow a distraction and what happens when you resist it. So notice if your energy shifts when you create those boundaries, and ask yourself, like, what surprised me? Like, what's changed? Because when you start protecting your off time, you'll start living and working with a lot more impact. Look forward to seeing you next time.